What you want to do now to ensure that the pie crust seals nicely and doesn't all pop open during baking is we're going to use an egg wash. And the egg wash is going to act as a seal for the edges of the pastry, and we're also going to brush the egg wash over top of the entire pie when we're done, and that's going to help give it a nice golden color and a sheen. Okay, so to make an egg wash, basically you use one large, extra large, whatever size egg you have in the fridge, and whisk it up so it's all consistently one color, no big chunks or anything in it, no pieces of white or yolk floating around. And then just add a little bit of water, I'd say, I don't know, a tablespoon or so. And once again, give it a good whisk so it's consistently one texture. Okay. So now what you want to do is you just want to go around the very edges of the pie. You don't want to brush with brush strokes because it'll make all of your lattice pieces move. So basically you just want to dab along the side so you don't slide those pieces and make them all crooked after you've taken so much care in making sure they're straight. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make our edges. So you just basically fold it up over top of the edges of the lattice so they disappear. And turn your pie, fold it up over the edge. A lot of people do the edges of their pies differently. You can now, if you wanted to, you could press these down with a fork to form the seal. You need a little bit more flour. If your fingers start sticking to things, just stick them in some flour, tap them off, and you're good to go again. But you could press this down with a fork, the tines of a floured fork, or you could do it this way, which I think offers a prettier finish to such a beautiful pie. So what you do is you take your dusted fingers and you're flouting it, or you're pinching it, but you're putting your finger in between your thumb and your finger of the other side. They have to be dusted though. When they start to stick, dust them off again with some more flour. And you just go around the pie like that. It forms a nice seal. It forms a high wall, keeping the juices in the pie. And it looks nice. Now I'm going to brush the top of the pie gently with some more of the egg wash, like I said, to give it a nice color and a sheen. But I also like to sprinkle the top of the pie after I do that with just a little bit more of a very coarse sugar. And that gives it just a beautiful, professional look. I get the coarse sugar at any type of a bulk food store. They have it. Often you can get it in different colors, and I use that for Christmas decorating of gingerbread and whatnot. But the white I use all the time. I use it to sprinkle on top of pies. I use it to roll our ginger snap cookies in, and it's just a beautiful way to finish off such a beautiful pie. I'm just going to reach over and grab the sugar now. But that's what I've done. Just a little tiny bit all the way around. So, a little bit of the coarse sugar. Just a little sprinkle on top of the pastry. Now I have preheated my oven to about 375. I would do it at about 350. This oven is so old and so finicky, we don't mess with the temperature. I just leave it at one constant temperature. But if I was to do this pie at home, I would bake it at 350 for 1 to 1.5 hours. You'll know when it's done when you look at it and the crust is beautiful golden, it's bubbling inside, and when you insert a knife into some of the rhubarb, it's just like butter. It's just like entering it into soft butter, and that's done. So let's put it in the oven and check back in about an hour. This one is one I made earlier today, and it's ready to go. So as you can see, the crust around the edge was like a dam holding all of the liquids in. The egg wash and the coarse sugar just have a nice little effect on the top. If you don't have the coarse sugar, it's not necessary. You can just use a little bit of regular granulated sugar or none at all. It's your preference. So that's it. Lattice top rhubarb pie, fresh with as many local ingredients as possible.